do is figure out the details.
We are on there.
Okay, it's 9:30. And who's Habalak? Habal, Habalc.
That is staff.
Okay. Who?
That's Connie from our staff.
Oh, okay.
Money Grant said we're on air.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. The regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Golden Rain Foundation of Laguna Woods, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, this Tuesday, October 5th, 2021, 9:30 a.m., Laguna Woods virtual meeting will now come to order. Next, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance that is led by Director Tibbetts.
Thank you. Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
To the republic.
Lost my voice. Saying one nation for all. Thank you. I cut out quite a bit. I finished it now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I acknowledge the media. So the next item, order of business, is the approval of the agenda. Are there any objections to the agenda? Are there any corrections? Debbie.
Down under the Finance Committee assignments, there's a typo where it's got Jim's name and then part of my name and then Gan's name and then my name.
Where are you talking about?
Down under the committee assignments, let's see, I don't know what page that is, hold on.
It's not on the agenda.
It's not on the agenda? Okay,
Then
well, it's
when we
just a
get
typo.
when we get to it, let's correct it. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Thank you. Are there any further corrections or additions? So if there are no further corrections or additions, and there are no objections, the approval of the agenda is approved by unanimous consent. So the next item of business is the approval of the minutes for August 26, 2021, agenda prep open meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? Are there any objections? If there are no objections, the minutes of August 26, 2021, agenda prep open meeting is now approved by unanimous consent. So the next item would be the approval of the minutes of September 7th, 2021, regular open meeting. Are there any additions or corrections? So if there are no additions or corrections, are there any objections? If there are no objections, the minutes of September 7th, 2021, regular open meeting is approved by unanimous consent. So the next item is report of the chair. And I do want to congratulate Maggie Blackwell. She is now on the United Board. And we are very sorry to see her go, but I want to thank you for her service for GRF. So this will be leaving a vacancy, and there will be another election to fill this vacancy. So the next item is the CEO report. Jeff, you're up.
Thank you, Madam President, and to the board and to residents out there. Good morning. I have three things that I wanted to update the board on quickly. First one is relative to COVID information. Good news is that we're seeing a downtick in the hospitalizations and ICUs in Orange County. So that coincides with a reduction in the amount of cases. Over the weekend, There were 670 cases. That's down from over 1,500 a week ago over the calculation of the weekend. So when we get our Tuesday reports, oftentimes they add up what's over the weekend. So we'll look at that tomorrow and see if it continues to drop. On the hospitalizations, we're at 242 hospitalizations and 62 ICUs. That's down from over 300 last week in hospitalizations and 80 people in ICU. So a pretty significant downturn, which is what we want to see and are glad to see relative to COVID numbers. The second thing I wanted to mention, and I'll have a little bit more detail for the whole board when we get into closed sessions, but I did want to mention for everybody that we did finish up our GRF insurance renewal process as of October the 1st, and we were able to move forward with all of our lines for casualty, D&O insurance, and property insurance, and we were successfully able to get our 10-1 renewal just under our budget. So the good news is we saved about almost $22,000 relative to our budget with regards to our renewal process. So thank you to the board for your work on that with the staff, and thank you to Dan Yost for all his work on this. And we'll talk a little bit more in detail when we get into closed session. And the last thing I had was I just wanted to mention that down at Clubhouse 1, we are going from our outdoor fitness center and moving all of the equipment back inside. And that is, again, following kind of the protocol that we've seen the numbers drop and feel confident that we can put it inside. And obviously it rained and there's forecasted more rain down the road, and we're getting into the fall. So we want to get all of our equipment cleaned up and moved in. So yesterday and today, the fitness center is closed, so the staff can move all of the equipment inside. So I just wanted to let people know that we'll be reopening tomorrow indoors. And that's all I have, and I'll turn it over to Siobhan.
Thank you, Jeff. Honorable President, members of the board, I have several announcements this morning. First off is that the resurfacing of the village tennis courts is underway. Between now and October 8th, resurfacing is occurring at courts 3, 4, and 8. And then on October 8th, court washing will occur at courts 6, 7, 9, and 10. And between October 11th and October 15th, resurfacing will occur at those same courts. That would be courts 6, 7, 9, and 10. Please call 949-268-2481 with any questions about this project. Also coming up is the slurry seal of the PAC parking lot. This will occur on Thursday, October 14th and Friday, October 15th. All vehicles must be removed from the PAC parking lot prior to the start of work. Each half of the PAC parking lot will be closed for 24 hours following the seal coating. Post office access will remain open with minimal inconvenience. To access the post office, please follow the access routes and avoid scheduled work areas. The annual reservation lottery held by the Recreation and Special Events Department secures dates in advance for events that require long-term planning. To enter the lottery, pick up lottery cards in the Recreation office or email a reservation request to recreation@vmsinc.org beginning October 11th. Again, that's beginning Monday, October 11th. Complete and return your lottery cards and requests to the Recreation office by 5 p.m. on Friday, October 29th. Residents will be notified via mail by November 12th. And for more information, you may call the Recreation office at 949-597-4273 or email recreation@vmsinc.org. We also want to announce that the PAC box office is now online. Residents can conveniently purchase and print Performing Arts Center tickets from their homes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. To attend Champagne Pops, Men of Motown, and Bee Gees Gold, or the New York clubs Brooks and Dunn tribute, visit tickets.lagunawoodsvillage.com to create an account and purchase and print your tickets. If you don't have a printer, at checkout you have the option to pick up your tickets at the PAC box office. And lastly, holiday buffets are scheduled for both Thanksgiving and Christmas. Tickets go on sale for the Thanksgiving buffet, which will be Thursday, November 25th at Clubhouse 5. The tickets go on sale Thursday, October 28th in the Clubhouse 5 office. And the Christmas buffet, which will be Saturday, December 25th at Clubhouse 5. Those tickets will go on sale on Thursday, December 2nd, also in the Clubhouse 5 office. Again, for more information, you may call Recreation at 949-597-4382 or email recreation@vmsinc.org. And that concludes my updates this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the next item of business is the open forum. Excuse me.
The first speaker we have is Chris Collins.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I'm not exactly sure where to look because I see you on the television, but at any rate, I'm Chris Collins, 3306Q, and this is the first time that I've been back to talk about the foundation since the pandemic. And so anyway, this is an update on the foundation of Laguna Woods Village on behalf of residents experiencing temporary financial crisis. The outstanding feature of Laguna Woods Village is its sense of community, and that sense of community is built upon the good neighbor philosophy of the village. Being a good neighbor became particularly important during the pandemic when feelings of isolation meant reaching out to our neighbors more important than ever. Do you know your neighbor's name? When did you chat with them last? In September, we had a special opportunity to celebrate the importance of being good neighbors. September 28th was National Good Neighbor Day. The original proclamation in 1978, designating September 28th each year as National Good Neighbor Day, states, in part, for most of us, the sense of community is nurtured and expressed in our neighborhoods where we give each other an opportunity to share and feel part of a larger family. Last year, the foundation assisted by our central partner, Social Services, distributed $30,000 in grocery cards to ensure no neighbor went hungry during the pandemic. This year, the foundation has provided funds for over 40 emergency response devices to prevent serious injuries caused by falls for our needier village residents. The foundation would not have been able to do this without the support of our many neighbors, and we thank you for being our good neighbors. Please know how much your ongoing contributions to the foundation are appreciated. These enable us to really demonstrate what it means to be neighbors helping neighbors. Be watching for our fundraiser campaign, which will happen in November. And for more information about the foundation, or if you have any questions, please contact us at the foundation at comline.com or 949-268-2246. Thank you.
Ian Sampson, 5408.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Members of the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I represent Community Concerts of Laguna Woods Village and have previously submitted a request, which I'm going to elaborate on now, to the Recreation Department some 3 weeks ago. But I was told that it was inopportune to submit it, and I needed to present this request to the board. Community Concerts of Laguna Woods Village has brought national and internationally acclaimed classical musicians to the village for over 50 years. Usually, our season of 6 concerts runs from October through April, and due to the COVID pandemic, after 4 performances, the 2021 season was aborted. The series is by subscription for 6 concerts. Single tickets are not sold. To fund the following season, our tickets go on sale during the current season, most noticeably during the last 2 concerts. Because of the pandemic and the unavailability of Clubhouse 3, we were forced to delay the start of the next season till January 22, which has removed access to our patrons this year and has considerably shortened the time available to sell subscriptions. Further, we are hampered by the restrictions placed on us by the rules governing the placement of posters and flyers in our clubhouses and common areas. We are committed to spending over $55,000 for the 22 season and will be hard pressed to meet this target unless the board of GRF can relax its rules for such advertising. We are also hampered by concerns that patrons have for their safety given the current status of the pandemic and need to allay their fears through posters and flyers. We therefore request that we receive permission to start placing flyers in the clubhouses as they open. Further, we request permission to put up 22 by 17-inch posters mounted on easels in the clubhouses. Given the complexity of our fundraising in this unusual situation, our board sincerely requests that GRF loosens its restrictions in our case. Thank you. I have made copies of this statement, which will be given to you at a later date for your perusal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions that I can answer?
We will now, is there any email comments at this time?
Yes, I have 4 members' email comments.
You may begin.
Good morning, everyone. First comment, Miss Evelyn Suskin, Manor 3268C. It appears to me as long-time resident that is costing us more and we are receiving less for our money. One example is transportation. The bus service has been cut so that residents have lost the ability to go to meetings in the evening. I have been told you may be able to get there, but you are on your own getting home. That is not a valid answer. Before the pandemic, we could travel to club meetings and performances in the performing arts centers by bus. Now that is no longer available. I have Lyft not show up for an appointment for a ride to a clubhouse, and it was a struggle for the bus supervisor to find another Lyft that would take me. I ride the Journey bus, but the last pickup is at 4 p.m. If I had just arrived at 3:30 p.m., must I leave at 4 p.m.? That happened to me at a meeting I attended. Something has gone terribly wrong in transportation. I moved here in 1992 with the promise of the bus service always being available should I need it. That promise has been broken because just when I and the other need it, the service is being dismantled to the point that it is no longer recognizable. Miss Suzanne Frank, Manor 227B. I hope these upcoming future board meetings will once again be held in person. This past week, a bus departed from Gate 1 with at least 40 of our members on board so that they feel confident going somewhere together. I should think we could once again have our board meeting in person. The residents want to come in and appear before the board, and perhaps Zoom meetings are really not required at this time. Third, Mr. Board Beltran, Manor 8540. As a resident concerned with the increasingly ominous challenge of climate change, I appreciate your willingness to seriously consider our electrical infrastructure needs in the light of SCE's Change Ready program. Your request for a cost-benefit analysis and current charge usage data will establish the village baseline for the shift from gasoline to electrical vehicles. That shift is already embodied in our current infrastructure consisting of 120-volt carport outlets, plus the 2 level 2 chargers and the 3 level 3 rapid DC chargers located behind the administration building. My wife and I are grateful for this existing infrastructure that allows us to enjoy our fully electrical EV. We alternate chargers according to the need using the carport outlet for our daily forays and the level 3 for longer road trips. We are delighted to be able to count on this modest but superb village asset. It is estimated that in 8 years, 32% of all vehicles sold in the U.S. will be electric. We were able to afford our Chevy Volt because of the manufacturer's discount, state rebates, and federal tax credits, which allowed us to get a 40% discount on all its list price. Many more people will be taking advantage of the same benefits. They will be spurred by California's mandate to ban the sales of new gas-powered vehicles by 2035, plus this own desire to be part of the solution. There will be a tsunami of demand in Laguna Woods Village and outside of it for the EV chargers. Leadership needs to make a 5 to 8 years commitment to fortify.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt. Are the 3 minutes up?
Okay.
There's
Right.
still
The
a
last
minute
one.
and 9 seconds left.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
I have the last one. Karen Cowell Manor 272C. In the light of the need of the drastic change in water usage, now how will the golf courses be downscaled to conserve the massive waste of water use for its upkeep? This concludes the members' email comments. Thank you.
All right. Seeing
Okay.
no other comments, this concludes member comments.
Can I make a comment real quick, Bunny?
Was there someone else? I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say we cut residents' comments short by a minute. I think we should go back and give them their minute and finish their comment.
I think we let her continue.
No, she
went,
didn't finish.
She went to the third one. She didn't finish the second one on emails.
I'm sorry. And I agree that they should be able to use up to their 3 minutes. And I didn't have a clock here, so I didn't know, what it was. So does that speaker want to speak?
It was a letter from Bill Beltran about EV. So if she can continue where she left off.
Yeah, sure, I could continue. The last paragraph is leadership needs to make a 5 to 8 commitment to fortify our electrical infrastructure and not get caught flat-footed in not being able to provide for our evolving energy needs. The SCE Charge Ready program with its discount and incentives offer the possibility to seize the day and begin moving in the right direction. Installing chargers at destination location, example are clubhouses, where recreational, social, and educational activities allow for productive charging time is an excellent and workable idea. It will help ease the difficult and confounding work of energy system transition and allow our residents to find their own creative lifestyle solution. We need to get it on with it. We cannot procrastinate on this any longer. That concludes the email comment.
All right, thank you. Are there any other comments, Grant, at all?
There are none.
Okay, thank you. So at this point in time, it would be a response to the open forum speakers. Is there any one of the directors that would like to speak, respond? So the transportation, okay, so
Yeah.
who had their hand up first? Joan?
I did, yes.
Okay, Joan.
I want to respond to Ian Sampson if possible. Is there any way we can permit him to put up the flyers and the posters that he'd like to in order to get the community concerts going? What do we have to do to approve that? This is just a temporary situation.
Right, but it isn't up to us, it's up to recreation, so since.
Well, if we say okay to recreation, then they should do it, right?
Well, John, excuse me, Yvonne's the CAC chair, so we'll have her take it back to Brian and see what the plan is basically for being able to put up those flyers. But the way the recreation guidelines are written, it has to be approved by them rather than the board. So we'll take it back to him. And Debbie, you're next.
just want to speak to Mr. Beltran's comment and let him know that we are still working on all of this. There's no decisions been made, and we appreciate his input. Thank you.
Okay. And in regards to the future boards meeting with our hybrid, we're going to take that up again in closed meeting. And I'm sure that the residents understand that the reason that we are meeting was because of the high numbers of the Delta. And it is coming down. And so in our closed meeting, we will again vote on whether we will continue for a virtual or the hybrid. There was another one. Okay, EV and transportation. So Dawn, do you want to speak anything about the transportation to this person?
Okay. Yeah, I know that we're looking at it. The main concern is where is the electricity coming from? If we have to install all of these chargers, we have to find the electricity, we have to find convenient places, and I know that M&C is also looking at it. But there's nothing definite, but we are studying it, that's about it.
Okay, Egon?
Yeah, I'd like to respond to the lady about the bus service. That was really the question. So tomorrow afternoon is the vehicles and mobility meeting, mobility and vehicles, sorry. And it's at 1:30, so it would be very good for you to check in to that meeting and reiterate your question at that time. But we will discuss that with Chris and see what's going on and see what alternatives are available for the questions that you asked. What he asked basically is there are meetings now that the clubs are open again. For example, the social clubs in Clubhouse 5 ended about 8:30 to 9, and generally speaking, people have been able to get a bus home after the end of those meetings. And apparently that is no longer available, or at least according to the speaker. So please come back tomorrow at 1:30 and you'll get a better hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more responses? Yvonne? Okay, and then Joan.
Do this. Let me turn my mic on. I wanted to talk about the water. Kurt Wyman is working with some consultants, and we're redoing all of our irrigation system eventually through the whole village to save water. And one of the things that they're looking at is a master controller. So what doesn't need to be watered, doesn't get watered, and which will save thousands of dollars over the years. Anyway, so we are working on the water issue. Thank you.
Joan?
I think her question also was about the golf courses, which are always watered by recyclable water. It's not potable water. And so that's just FYI.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Joan. I knew that. I guess I should have said.
Okay. Are there any more responses? So if there are no further responses, we will go to number 10, consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are recommended for action by committees and will be enacted by the board by one motion. In the event an item is removed from the consent calendar by members of the board, such items shall be subject for further discussion and action by the board. So the first item is recommendation from Finance Committee. Number 8, consent with its statutory obligations, a subcommittee of the board consisting of the treasurer and at least one other board member reviewed and approved preliminary Golden Rain Foundation financials for the month of August 2021. By this vote, ratify that such review be confirmed in this month's board meeting open session meeting minutes. And the second item B is approve a resolution to update GRF committee appointments. I know there are a couple of changes that we need to make in the committee appointments, but I don't think we need to change that for to another item. So the changes. Pardon? Okay.
There is a correction which Debbie brought up that is just a typo.
Okay.
On page 2 of 6 of 10B, under Finance Committee, there is a typo. They put in under James Hopkins Chair GRF, then it says Deborah. That should go down 1 to 3rd line to Deborah Dotson. That just needs to be corrected.
Oh, I see. It says Dotson alternate.
Right. And Deborah should be in front of Dotson.
Okay,
that was all I had.
Okay, well, I only had a comment, and that was there was a resignation sent in for the ad hoc committee, which was the Equestrian Center ad hoc committee, and Stephanie Brown wanted to be removed, and then Bunny Lubinsky wanted to be removed, and then Carl Randoso would like to be part of the purchasing task force as an advisor. So can we go ahead and approve all that? Are there any objections?
I don't see why not. You'll have to write that out for Cheryl.
I will. Okay. If there are no objections to the changes, then we will go ahead and approve. Are there any objections to the consent calendar? So if there are no objections, the consent calendar is approved by unanimous consent. So the next item of business is the 11 unfinished business. The first item is entertain a motion to adopt a resolution to update the harassment policy. And this harassment policy has finished its 28-day and has been satisfied. So Joan, would you like to read the resolution?
Right, resolution 90-21-XX, harassment and nuisance policy. Whereas on October 7th, 2019, the board adopted the harassment and nuisance policy to set forth guidelines for harassment and nuisance complaints. And whereas the board recognizes the need to update the policy to reflect changes in state law, introduce concepts of proper decorum and harassment based on protected classes, and outline the processes for investigation of allegations and board member or committee member discipline. Now, therefore, be it resolved, October 5th, 2021, that the board of directors of this corporation hereby revises the harassment and nuisance policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting, and resolved further that resolution 90-19-47 adopted October 1st, 2019 is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move that we approve the harassment and nuisance policy. Need a second.
I'm sorry.
Debbie seconded it.
I'm trying to turn off this phone. I apologize for the interruption. Okay. So,
it's been moved and seconded
Thank you. Moved in second, and are there any objections?
Already approved the community concert flyers, but said they had to get final approval from the board. That's why he was here today.
Oh dear.
Tried to shut it off and it wouldn't shut off. Okay, I'm sorry. So it's been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? So if there are no objections, the harassment policy has been approved by unanimous consent. So the next item is to entertain a motion to adopt a resolution by a broadband services fee increase by about 5% for premium program services. So, and it has finished its 28-day review. Joan, will you read the resolution, please?
Right, Resolution 90-21-XX, Digital Cable Services Fee Structure and Tier System. Whereas the Media and Communications Committee has recommended adjustments in the fee schedule to address higher costs for digital access and programming fees. And whereas the Finance Committee has reviewed and endorsed the adjustments in the fee schedule that are scheduled in the staff report and have recommended that the GRF board place this item into a 28-day notice for review and comments by the community at large. Now, therefore, be it resolved on October 5th, 2021, that the board of directors of this corporation hereby adopts the proposed digital pay tier system fee schedule as attached to the official minutes of this meeting, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of this corporation to carry out this resolution. I move we approve this resolution for digital cable service fee structure.
Do we have a second? Thank you. All right, is there any discussion?
Yvonne,
She seconded.
yes.
Yvonne did.
Thank
Yes.
you. Okay. Are there any objections? If there are no objections, the motion for increasing the broadband services by 5% is approved by unanimous consent. So the next item is to entertain a motion to adopt the transfer fee resolution in increasing the amount from $5,000 to $7,500 and changing one of the provisions that would allow a owner in the village that if they move to another place in the village, they will not have to pay an additional amount. So Joan, please read the resolution.
Okay.
Wow.
It's long. Shall I just read the changes?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, this is Resolution 90-21XX, Trust Facilities Fee from $5,000 to $7,500, sorry. So under resolve further, okay, sorry. The first resolve further, the trust facilities fee will be a fixed amount as resolved herein and as determined from time to time and so on, excluding the following transfers of a separate interest. And apart from the first four, the fifth one was added, which is where ownership of a separate interest is purchased by a current owner who has held interest in their current interest for at least 1 year. That's the first change. The second change is resolved further, effective with escrows opened for or purchase contracts signed on or after January 1st, 2022, the trust facilities fee shall be set at $7,500 for units with a sales price of $150,000 or higher, and at $3,000 for units that sell below $150,000 until modified by the trustee. And there was one small correction in the next paragraph, which says, in accordance with California Civil Code, each new purchase of a separate interest in any of the trustors' common interest developments within the city of Laguna Woods to which this trust facilities fee applies, except that is all new purchases other than a transfer qualifying for any of the exclusions set forth in subparagraphs 1 through 5 above. That's the correction. Shall, in compliance with California Civil Code 4580, have the option to either, and then it tells you how to pay the fee. I'm going to skip to the end to the last paragraph. Resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. And since this has been satisfied, I move that we approve this resolution and its changes. Need a
Have a second? Maggie seconded, I think.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there any discussion?
Yes, question.
Okay.
Down on the page 11C, the second resolve further. Set forth in paragraphs 1 through 5.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the 4 comes out. It's just 1 through 5.
1 through 5.
Yeah, okay.
What happened, Maggie? Do you have a number 4 there or something?
Yeah, mine says 1-4-5. So I'm just
Yeah, what that means is the 4 is crossed out and it should be 5.
Right. Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
I had a question.
Okay, John?
Just 2 quickies. Number 1, did we receive any public comments on this at all during the 28 days?
No, not that I know of. Has staff received any comments on it?
No.
No, we have not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, and then I'll just to keep the record keeping clean, so it gets confusing when you ask us objections. I will be voting no for this. So, however you take your vote, I'm against it.
We need to take a vote then, Bunny. You need to
Right,
take
exactly.
a vote.
I just wanted to make sure that it was handled in a way you're comfortable. Thanks.
Okay, all those in favor of amending the trust? Okay, so Grant, you want to count those? We have 1. Is your hand up, Joan? No?
Yes, it is up.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the motion passes. Should I ask for objections? No?
Yes.
And
Yes.
all those opposed? All those opposed?
That would be me.
That would be
1.
John, I'm sorry. The motion passes by the majority, and that is the changes and the modifications to the transfer fee resolution. Thank you. All right, so the next item is new business, and item A is to entertain a motion to create a revenue generating objective ad hoc committee for new ideas.
President
and minimum
Carpenter?
investment.
I do believe there's still 11D, which is entertain a motion to approve the GRF Code of Ethics policy modification.
And I thank you, Grant. Yes. Entertain a motion to approve the GRF Code of Ethics policy modification. So will you read the resolution, Joan?
Yes. Resolution 90-21-XX, Code of Ethics Policy for GRF Directors. Whereas the Board of Directors of the Golden Rain Foundation, GRF, has recognized the need to amend the Code of Ethics Policy for GRF Directors. And now, therefore, be it resolved, and that should be today's date. Since it's been set. No, I'm sorry. This is this still on 28 days?
Yes,
Yeah.
Joan, it is
It
correct
hasn't
as
been-
written.
Yeah, thank you, sorry. 2021, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the Code of Ethics Policy for GRF Directors as attached to the official minutes of this meeting. And resolve further that Resolution 90-21-24 is hereby suspended and canceled, And resolved further that a copy of this resolution shall be given to every candidate for the GRF Board of Directors. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move that we accept this resolution for discussion only and postpone the final approval for 28 days per Civil Code 4360.
Do I have a second?
Debbie.
Debbie, is there any discussion? So if there's no objections, hearing none, the motion to approve the GRF Code Ethics Policy Modification is approved by unanimous consent. Thank you. So the next item is new business, is to entertain a motion to create a revenue generating objective ad hoc committee for new ideas with minimum investment. So Joan, would you read that resolution?
Resolution 90-21-XX, Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee Mission Statement. Whereas a Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee has been formed pursuant to Article 7, Section 7.1.2 and Section 7.5 of the bylaws of this corporation. And whereas the primary mission of the Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee shall be to research and identify new revenue sources in the community and make recommendations to the Community Activities Committee, CAC, and Board of Directors for approval. And whereas this Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee will not take the place of the Strategic Planning Committee for long-range planning. And whereas the duties and responsibilities of the Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee are to, 1, research the identity of new revenue sources. I'm sorry, just a minute. Okay, new revenue sources. I'm sorry. 1, research and identify new revenue resources utilizing the community in general with minimum investment. Revenue resources that will enhance the community and not take away from the amenities. Or 2, research ideas from committee members, must provide estimated financial analysis and implementation suggestions. And 3, make progress reports to the CAC and the Board of Directors. Now, therefore, be it resolved, October 5th, 2021, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the mission statement, duties and responsibilities of the Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee, and resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move we accept this resolution for Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee.
And do I have a second? Is that Jim second it?
No,
okay.
I'm not seconding, no.
Okay.
We have a second.
So Joan second. Okay, discussion.
I can't. Who seconded?
Yvonne.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim?
Yeah, it would seem to me that whatever comes up needs the endorsement or recommendation of the Finance Committee also. And I didn't see that included in any of the involved committees. So I would suggest that the motion be amended, or that the resolution be amended to include the Finance Committee evaluation and endorsement.
Okay, part of the process is always when it goes from CAC and it does have financial implications, that it then is approved by CAC and then goes to finance.
Okay. I just think it would be good to have that part in there, even though that's part of the normal process.
Okay.
It is an ad hoc committee.
Right.
Where would you put it, Jim?
Right after the CAC.
So
because it indicated that it would go to CAC to strategic planning, or in some concert there. So, and I don't have it in front of me, but it seems to me Finance Committee has to be involved in the evaluation process.
So that would be the second whereas. So is this an official amendment? Are you making a motion?
Yes, I'm making a motion to officially amend to include the finance committee
Okay,
in the process.
I'll second it, but we'll have to word it and we have to vote on it. I second it
Okay,
to amend. Okay, to amend the second paragraph to include the finance committee as part of the approval process.
okay. I'm writing it down.
So it would be the CAC, finance committee, and board.
Yeah, finance, it's on item 3, right?
It is under whereas, the
Oh,
second
under
whereas, the last
Okay.
part of the paragraph should say, now we haven't voted on it yet, so I'm just writing it down.
Okay,
So it would read, in the primary mission and resources, blah, blah, shall be to research and identify, blah, blah, and make recommendations to Community Activities Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Board of Directors for approval. Would that be all right, Jim?
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
We
Now we have to
do
vote on
have
if we want to
a
read that in
resident
or
comment.
Not yet. We have to vote. Okay, well, is there a resident comment on that, on the amendment?
is there a resident comment?
We do
On the
have a
amendment.
resident comment.
Okay. It is, this would be the discussion.
Yes.
Honey, it's Dick Rader's putting a question in the question and answer. He wants to comment on this topic.
Okay,
The topic right now is the amendment only. Is that what his topic is?
I have a simple question. The question
Not
is
yet. Dick, if you're not talking about the amendment, just wait.
Yeah.
well, I have a question about the committee structure itself.
okay, what's the question?
Well, it's a simple question. You approved all the committee memberships in a prior thing, and yet this committee is not listed under GRF committee appointments. Who's being assigned to that committee? They already came up with their statement.
Right, so the committee gets approved, and then everyone will have an opportunity to put in their names to be on the committee.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, and then that will be on the next month's approval or consent. But Richard, when we do these committee approvals, it's ratified. So that what that means is that the committee can begin before the next meeting with all the recommended committee members.
Who is head of the committee, may I ask?
Yvonne, she's going to be.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Jeff has a comment.
Right, Jeff?
I just wanted to mention that in the change that the modification, the amendment that you made to the second whereas, you may want to look at adding that same language to number 3 in the fourth whereas, so that they're consistent. CAC to finance to the board.
You're correct.
I agree.
Make progress reports to the CAC, finance committee.
Right.
So that would be, let's make that under the same amendment.
Modification.
So part of the amendment is adding the finance committee after number 3. Now we still have to vote on the amendment.
Right. And Jeff, your hand's still up. Do you have any other comments? Okay, it's down. All right. Are there any objections to the amendment to the Revenue Resource Ad Hoc Committee mission statement? If there are no objections, the modifications are approved by unanimous consent. Are there any objections to the motion to approve the ad hoc committee with the mission statement? If there are, if there are no objections, so you have an objection, Jim? I can't hear you.
It's more of a comment. I'm not sure. This is going to the CAC committee. And does that assume that all new revenue sources would come from a community activity?
No, it says minimum.
Okay.
No, it's just, we're trying to find the right words, but it just means a minimum investment, small.
We'll deal with that.
Yeah, recommendations. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Are there any objections? So if there are no objections, the Revenue Resources Ad Hoc Committee mission statement is approved by unanimous consent. Thank you. The next item is to entertain a motion to approve the Village Community Fund pickleball lighting donation. And I didn't know if Brian was here, if he wanted to say something about it. Okay, let's let him go ahead and say something about this before we vote.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, Board Directors. As you know, pickleball is one of the fastest sports, one of the fastest growing sports, I should say, nationally speaking, here in the United States. And obviously with the pandemic, with a lot of the amenities being shut down, really kind of elevated the sport of pickleball even further, especially here in our community. And back last year in 2020, the Pickleball Club reached out to VCF, which is the Village Community Fund, in regards to raising additional funds to install some lights at the current pickleball facility, which were not installed back in March of 2019 with the reconstruction of the pickleball facility here in Laguna Woods Village. And VCF has done a great job. They've held numerous fundraisers and different raffle events to raise those funds. And it is my pleasure to today make the announcement that they have reached their goal of $25,000, which is adequate enough to install the new additional lights at the pickleball facility. And it's now my distinct pleasure to introduce Diane Phelps, who is the VCF president, and she will provide us with the $25,000 check.
There you go.
Thank you, Diane.
Hi, I just wanted to say that we were trying to get this project moving because of the high demand, so there's a push to get it started as soon as possible. But we have confidence that we'll reach our goal by the end of the year, so that's why we're giving the check. But and I want to thank those who have already made a donation. But I want to make it clear that the fundraising campaign is still ongoing. So if you haven't made a contribution yet, please do so. But we just wanted to get this going, so we're going ahead and fronting the money, giving it in advance, because we know that you won't start the project until you get the money. Okay.
So, thank you, Diane. Yeah, this is outstanding, and I know this will serve the community really well, and I know a lot of people are really excited for this. So thank you so much for your efforts and your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so Joan, would you like to read the resolution?
I don't have the resolution.
Did you get the?
I didn't get it, so I'm sorry.
By email? It was sent by email yesterday.
Fine.
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes, go ahead, Lenny. Thanks.
Okay. So resolution 90-20-XX Village Community Fund Donation Resolution Pickleball and Paddle Tennis. Whereas on March 2nd, 2021, the GRF board accepted VCF's application to start fundraising for the purpose of contracting the installation of the existing style of court lights over the 3 remaining unlit courts at the pickleball and paddle tennis facility to facilitate nighttime play and ensure consistent playing conditions throughout the facility. And whereas since March 2021, VCF generated $25,000 in fundraising monies to be donated to GRF for the purpose of contracting the installation of court lights over the 3 remaining unlit courts at the pickleball and paddle tennis facility. And whereas any remaining donated funds will be redistributed to VCF. And now therefore be it resolved, October 5th, 2021, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the donation of $25,000 from Village Community Fund for the installation of court lights over the 3 remaining unlit courts at the pickleball and paddle tennis court, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. Do I hear a second? Okay, we have a second. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, are there any objections? If there are no objections, the motion is approved by unanimous consent. And thank you.
Thank you.
And I have to thank Diane and the previous GRF boards that actually put this community a fund together, because so far it's been very advantageous to our community. Really helped the equestrian center. Now it's helping pickleball, and it can also help some of the other clubs too to get some of the things that they need in quicker than maybe the boards can be able to fund for it. So thank you again.
I'm sorry, who seconded that? Madam Chair?
Yes?
Who seconded that?
Maggie.
Who seconded?
Maggie.
Sorry.
Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So at this point in time, I can request that we have a 5-minute break if needed. If it is not needed, then we can go ahead to the committee reports. Is there anyone that would like to take a 5-minute break? We've been able to really move on today, which is really good. So we'll go ahead with committee reports. So the report for the Finance Committee, Director Hopkins.
Yes, Grant, do you have the charts?
Yes, just one moment.
Sure. Great. Okay, this is the financial report as of August 31st, 2021. And through that reporting period, the revenue for GRF was $29.4 million, compared to an expenses of $27 million. The result is a net revenue of $2,434,000. Next chart, please. Now, looking at the operating portion only, this is the operating fund without depreciation, without the transfer facility fees, and unrealized gain on loss on investments. This shows that we have a favorable variance of actually an operating surplus of $881,000 through August 31st. Next chart, please. Now, this chart shows the same actuals from the income statement, but is compared to budget. GRF ended the period better than budget by $1,868,000. Next slide, please. This shows our significant variances by category, with the green bars representing favorable variances and the orange bars representing unfavorable variances. First, with the favorable variances. Employee compensation and related expenses was $1,860,000 favorable due to the open positions in security and information services. Of course, the recruitment is in process. Also, the janitorial and recreational positions remain unfilled while clubhouses were closed, and there were fewer hours than budgeted. Exeter transfer facilities fees. That was favorable by $677,000 due to more manors being sold. The year-to-date revenue from that is 28% higher than what we had anticipated. The community has had 659 resales versus a budget of 496. And that also compares to 419 in 2020 of the same period, through the same period. Our community events expense is favorable, $241,000 due to facility closure during the pandemic. We were open 3 months later than planned, resulting in $241,000. Unfavorable variances, there is an unrealized loss on our investments. The unfavorable variance is $392,000. We reviewed that in detail at our last finance meeting, which included all board members. Miscellaneous revenue is $338,000 less due to less fees collected during the facility closures. That would include also traffic violation fees, photocopy fees, auto decal fees, and a host of other types of fees. Next is our clubhouse rentals. And again, for the same reason, that's an unfavorable variance of $314,000. Chart 5, please. This is a pie chart. We've seen this several times, but it shows our non-assessment revenue and the items which contribute to that. And of course, the broadband services is 39% of our non-assessment. Trust facilities fees is 37%. Golf revenue is 16%. Other revenue, relatively small at 8%. Of course, total non-assessment revenue is $8,454,000 during that period. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, this slide is a little bit jumbled. Let me see if I can look at mine. Our total expenses were $26,969,000. And of that, 53% of it was employee related. 12% was inflation. Our programming and cable and franchise fees were 10% of that. Insurance, legal, and professional fees were 8%. All right, and outside service was 7%. The other expenses were very small at 3%. This is a typical relationship of expenses, so there's nothing new here. Next slide, please. This chart shows our resale history. And again, it shows that we are significantly higher than the previous years, 28% higher than 2020, excuse me, and also higher than 2019. Next chart, please. This chart shows our fund balances, all right? Of course, the funds are our equipment fund and our facilities fund. This is commonly called the reserve fund, right? And our contingency fund of $2.4 million, that's the ending balance. The total was $34.4 million as of August 31st. The work in process is 5.7, resulting in an adjusted balance of $28.7 million. First chart, please. Now, this chart shows our fund balances as of August 31st over the last 5 years. And as you can see, our fund balance is increasing. However, if you take the commitments to those funds, which is especially when you take the out years, and we're not looking at that now, but when you start to look at the years going forward and a need to deal with our clubhouse renovations and some of the other things, while the funds are going up, we're also looking at uses of those funds also going up in the future. So it's good to have these funds adequate at this point, and we're still looking at other sources to reduce our expenditures and, of course, increase the revenue and the turnover for that. And next chart, please. This chart shows our encumbrances against those funds. We have appropriations of $13.5 million in the various funds against the $34 million that we saw before. And so, you know, again, those encumbrances, if we take those encumbrances against the total, our net balance is somewhere near $21 million. And that concludes our financial report.
Okay, and you completed the finance committee report also?
Yeah, the finance committee will meet on October 20th. We meet every 2 months. At our last meeting, we did review in detail our investments. We had Dan Quirk from Sageview Investments to give us a presentation where everyone was invited, all board members and the community were invited to ask questions about the strategy. At our next meeting, we will be working with, we are currently working with legal to address policy changes. Those policy changes are to define responsibilities and refine some of the wording in the policy. We're also looking at whether or not there should be any changes in policy. So we'll be reviewing that at our next finance committee meeting.
Okay, thank you. So the next item is strategic planning committee. So Debbie, do you want to speak on that?
Yes, thank you, Bunny. This is, I'm just taking this over as the new chairperson, and I want to thank Director Pearlstone for his work on this committee thus far. We are going to be refining and reprioritizing some of the goals and initiatives that were created as a result of this committee, which has only been in existence for not that long and kind of was developed right before COVID hit, so that kind of threw some monkey wrenches in. So we're regrouping, we're reprioritizing, we're going to restructure a little bit. My goal is to have our next formal meeting perhaps in December, which may be lofty. So for sure by January, we will have our first formal meeting, which will be agended. But until then, there's some work going on just in a small with a couple people to try to reprioritize. So, and add some new objectives. So thank you.
Yeah. The next item is the CAC committee. Director Horton.
I too would like to thank John Pearlstone for his previous work on the CAC committee. At our last meeting, what we decided to do was we are going to have a survey about courts. Court seems to be a gigantic issue with all of the activities that happen to use it. We're not just going to go to the people that are in the clubs, but there's a lot of people that play racket sports that are not members of the club, and we're going to obtain those emails to make sure that they're all notified and get their say on the survey that we're going to do. Also, thank you to the board for approving my ad hoc committee, and I'm hoping that we can get some really good ideas from some of the residents within the community. Anyway, and that's about all I want to say right now. Thank you.
Thank you. So the Equestrian Center ad hoc, we had one meeting, but we are going to be meeting quarterly now or as needed. The last meeting that was as needed was basically for GRF support to be able to, for them to implement programs for getting rid of the rats. And so they're doing very, very well at doing that. There's a process that they are going to use that is being used in all of the other equestrian centers throughout Orange County, and basically to just to be able to block some of the entryways. And the Equestrian Center is doing some other things also. So, and we're sorry that it actually got to this point that they had to take such drastic measures in order to get rid of them, but they are. So I wanted to assure everybody that they are. So the next item would be the Landscape Committee, and that's Director Horton.
Okay. Well, because the Landscape Committee only meets every other month, it seems like, there's nothing new to report, excluding the fact that I know that Kurt Wyman is working diligently to get our irrigation and working with the consultants to figure out what is the best avenue to take with our irrigation. And I've been getting a lot of questions about that. So I just wanted to make sure everybody realizes that we are working on it. And I hope everybody understands that we're working really hard on this because our water rates are going to go up tremendously next year, along with a lot of other things. But anyway, that's all I have to report on the Landscape Committee.
Thank you. Okay. The next item is the report of the Maintenance and Construction Committee, EGOT.
Thank you. Okay, our last meeting, excuse me, the Maintenance and Construction Committee was a special closed workshop on September the 27th. At this workshop, initially we got an introduction on the work being done, the preliminary work being done on Building E. We'll put out a report, an RFP for plans to replace this building. So Guy West gave us very extensive reading of what was sent out, and then an approximate response of how much we might want to spend to evaluate our position at this time. Just to bring everybody up to speed, Building E is currently staffed with security personnel up to 21 persons at any one time, 9 permanent staff for the landscape department, and 6 permanent staff for maintenance. And we are going to have meetings to discuss which of the groups will be moved to a new building and which may be moved or may not be moved to the community center. That is upcoming. Also discussed at the 27th meeting was very briefly, we went through the project log, and then we discussed Building E, and then we had an extensive discussion and presentation by persons of interest on the SCE Charge Ready program. And Carl of United gave us the summary of that, and Steve had an opportunity to put in his input into that also. So we are not setting this program aside. We're working on it, and we're still in the collection, information collection process. I am going to request that our new facilities manager, Bart, will be giving us an update on just how the charging stations behind the community center are being utilized. That is, how much income they're generating, what percentage of the time that they are actively being utilized. And then, meanwhile, we still have nothing back from SDE yet, but they have suggested that we should review our stations, our number of stations we want, and I plan to do that and get back to them. And we also had a discussion about what it is that we can do to get better value for our expenditure. The next closed workshop is scheduled for the month of November, as we, I beg your pardon, yeah, for the month of November, as we do on the odd numbered months, we go have our special meeting. Then moving on to the clubhouse ad hoc committee, we held a meeting on Wednesday, the 22nd, and the primary focus of that meeting was to get started on how to renovate Clubhouse 1. And first, what we did is we reviewed in depth what it is that we saw when we went to the PAC on our tour, work that had been done so far. At that tour, we made a considerable number of recommendations for additional work to be done at the PAC. And we suggested that the same diligent room by room undertaking be done for Clubhouse 1, which is the initial clubhouse we're looking at. At that meeting, I also requested, but did not get any input as to anything that people wanted to do at other clubhouses at this time. So what the next step here is to get a room by room tour of the initial rooms that we want to evaluate for renovation or updating, I should say, in Clubhouse 1. And that would be the rooms leading from the drop-in lounge to the art room at the back, and then also on the right-hand side of Clubhouse 1, there are two more teaching rooms that are mostly utilized by Saddleback College. They're not currently being utilized by Saddleback, so this would be an excellent time to get in there and fix those things up. That also goes for the art room in there. And we will schedule another meeting for later in October of the Clubhouse ad hoc committee. That's all I have on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Egon. So the next item is report of the media and communications. So Joan, will you report on that?
Yes.
Where did she go? Okay.
I'm here. Yes. All right. Media and communications met on September 20th, and Eileen Poland reported that for media and communications that with the GRF budget approved, these things are in the plans coming up. We're going to establish focus groups for the website, what's wanted, what's needed more. There'll be some community surveys coming up on these things. And we have a signed contract with the broadband group, and that work is scheduled to begin very soon. In fact, it's probably already begun. Eileen reported on all the highlights in the current department projects, from meet the candidates to year-end board of directors meetings, and a new board of directors handbook is in the works. And by the time the new boards are established, that handbook will be available. Broadband Services gave a very elaborate report, and it's been included in the notes here for the committee meeting. And you might browse it because it gives a lot of detail about how the charges are made and what cable stations are up for renewal. So Paul Ortiz reported on the 21 year-to-date cable operations and reported the year-to-date broadband services operations, and also the subscriber counts for broadband, and he did a forecast of the programming contracts. That's what costs so much. But actually, we get most of our revenue for the village from all of the TV stations. In fact, sorry. One thing to note is that stations that were in the 800s are now going to be in the 500s. The same number, but it'll be 500. Like 858 is now 558. So in case you thought you might have lost your stations, try the 500s. Okay, that's pretty much. If you want more detail, please see that report under my report, and that's the end of my report. Our next meeting will be October 18th at 1:30.
Okay, thank you, Joan. So the next is report of the Mobility and Vehicles Committee, Director Tibbetts.
Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. We didn't have a meeting in September. Our next meeting will be tomorrow at 1:30. It'll be a virtual meeting. That's it.
Thank you. And the next one is Security and Communications.
We didn't have a meeting this month. Both committees I'm on meet at the same month. So our next meeting will be October 25th at 1:30. That's all.
All right, thank you. The next item is report on the Laguna Woods traffic hearings. Yvonne.
Well, we adjudicated 3 people, and they were all found guilty. So I'm sure that they're giving more tickets, but people must be paying them. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And report on disaster preparedness, Maggie?
Okay, we met on September 28th. There's going to be a problem. ATT is planning on eliminating phone ground lines. That will be a problem if they do that, because in case of an emergency, the towers are going to go out, and so you're not going to have cell phone reception. And the ground lines may be a major factor. So we are going to have to try to get some kind of provision from AT&T that they will leave some ground lines on. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck incommunicado. They tested out the radios, and 12 of the 15 reported, and that was great. There's been a problem with the Good Neighbor Captains. The Good Neighbor Captains, the last couple of announcements or something a few months ago, made it sound like the Good Neighbor Captains will be applying first aid and maybe doing some kind of rescue operation and stuff. And the Good Neighbor Captains will not have any first responder responsibilities at all. The Good Neighbor Captain's responsibility is simply to ascertain who needs help and radio in the address and the name. So that's all the person has to do, is to check on people, and if they need help, they radio in immediately. They do not have to do anything or take any CPR action themselves. That scared a lot of people off. 50% of the people that had signed up dropped off because they were afraid of lawsuits and afraid of what they would be required to do. But it's only you and the radio. That's all that they're doing, is checking in to find out who is going to be a likely need of electricity or whatever, and then just phone call. That's it. Just use the radio and call. So that will be a great relief to a lot of people, and maybe we will have better signups again. We are going to simplify the collection of info, and the training and duties will be clarified. At the library, there's a display case of items available for in case of disasters, and that's a good thing. There's a pet evacuation plan, which is very well done, and they have a trailer and everything for the pets. So get your pet registered for evacuation so that if you're not home, someone will know. And they will have a little sign for you to put in the window that you have 2 cats here or 1 dog or whatever. Tom Spiglia has installed a couple of first fire avert machines. It only takes 10 minutes, as promised. He said it really only took him 10 minutes to do it. They do the cutoff breaker closest to the kitchen. It seems like a good idea. You can use an extension cord if you need it, and so on. And so he was very positive with his report. And he said, the security will be doing, Tom will be doing the installation. They will be checking on it, so that works. We have the Great Shakeout October 21st at 10:21. That is 10:21 at 10:21. And if you want to be a part of that, you can call in and be a part of that. That will be specially for the Good Neighbor captains to practice using their radios. Only a few clubhouses will be involved, and so look forward to that. On October 6th, there is a Zoom show on how to fill out forms for the Good Neighbor captains. So there, Carlos is going to go on TV6 and make several announcements. And that's my report. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes. Okay, Joan.
Maggie, did I understand that all the Good Neighbor captains are going to get radios?
Well, the Good Neighbor captains have to fill out the forms of who it is. The distribution of the radios, they did not say. It would seem that the Good Neighbor captains in time of an emergency would need radios, but I don't know if we have all of those supplied yet. Okay. Oh, and the office has been now moved to where the Globe used to be. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We also have a comment from Juanita Skillman.
If I can add to Maggie's report, the Good Neighbor captains do not have radios. They turn their reports into the clubhouse coordinators who do have radios and a person from the radio club there with them, and they're the ones that further it on. But we do not give radios to the Good Neighbor captains.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have anything else, Maggie?
No.
Okay. So the next item would be the Information Technology Advisory Committee. Director Hopkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The committee meets weekly at 1:30 on Fridays. It's a closed meeting. And over the last month, we have developed a 2-page questionnaire to interview the finalists of our ERP selection. We have completed that interview, and we have not selected yet because we're pending a detailed review from the stakeholders. And the stakeholders are essentially the departments that will be using the ERP. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning Solution, which we call the computer system, or the system, our accounting system. But it's actually a lot more than that. It's an operating system that reaches. So we're scheduling the stakeholder meetings over a period of the next month and a half, so that each stakeholder will get a chance to interview the 3 finalists. And I want to thank the committee for all the hard work and dedication. On that committee, Debbie Dotson, Diane Casey, Lynn Jarrett, Sue Margolis, myself, and Bunny, and of course, staff support is from Chuck Holland and Delphine Maffey. I want to thank them because this committee really gets a lot done. It meets weekly, and you'll start to see the results beginning this year as to all the work that we've done and how we're going to move forward. So again, thanks to the committee, and that's my report.
Thank you, Jim. So the next item is future agenda items, and we have the GRF investment policy as a future agenda item. We'll probably be hearing about that at our next meeting. So I'll jump to the next item, or I should ask, is there any other, would we like to add anything to this future agenda item? Okay, so the next item is director comments. So if you would like to make a director comment, please raise your hand. So Debbie.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good meeting, and we did a lot in a short amount of time, yay. But I wanted to just remind people about the security meeting that's on October 25th. And because it's important, if you're concerned about traffic and safety within our community, particularly the issues that I'm hearing about with stop signs and people running stop signs. You know, we are working on that, and I want people to know that, but just remember that those little red signs, octagonally shaped with 8 sides that say stop, that means stop. So, because I've seen some really close calls lately, and it scares me. And, you know, especially I'm in gate 5-6, and for some reason, we just happen to have one spot that's really bad. So I just encourage residents to please be mindful of people walking, crossing the streets, keep your speed down, and stop at the stop signs. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? There are no additional comments. Then we will recess, and it is 11:07. So if we meet at 12:05, no, that's too long. I'm sorry. How about 11:35? That we will come back for the closed meeting.
President Carpenter.
At this point in time, we'll
Just as an advisement, there will be a separate link being sent to the board.
Okay, thank you.
Close.
All right. Thank you. So there will be a separate link when you join back to the closed meetings. So I will see you at 11:35. So enjoy your lunch, right?
We should leave now.
Yes, all of us should leave.